Good afternoon, everybody. Still? Yeah, okay. So usually when I go to these conferences, I always tend to feel sleepy after the lunch panel. And I always feel sorry for the speakers. So when I was told that my panel will be right after the lunch, I thought I'll make a very short presentation and colorful one. Right? I did that. But now what has happened is, thank you, Johan, you have covered decentralization in a very comprehensive way. I don't know how many of you have seen Throw Mama from the Train. In that, there is Danny DeVito who comes to our protagonist and says, I have just published a book. And our protagonist also has written a book based on the same experiences. And his is going to be published tomorrow. And when we see Danny DeVito's book, it's a comic book for 3-year-old kid. That's what I feel. I feel like Danny DeVito now after Mr. Johannes' presentation. So it'll just be short, and it will be for mostly for children, now that it has been covered in a beautiful way by Mr. Johannes. Okay, let's go back to the... What is the first 3 things we talk about when we talk about Bitcoin? One, it's open source. Second, it's a digital currency, and it is decentralized. So why is that we go to a centralized exchange to buy Bitcoins when we either want to buy or sell Bitcoins? So I just want to cover, we should have a decentralized exchange even for buying Bitcoins. This is a graphical presentation. On one side, you will see the centralized exchange where all the orders are routed through a single central authority. Whereas on the other side, you see a completely decentralized way of how Bitcoins can be exchanged. We have a lot of advantages with the centralized one. It is fast, it is efficient, but it is vulnerable to hackers and to the government actions. You have probably seen how many people, a lot of people face problem when they buy from Mt. Gox. I think a few have yet to receive some money from Mt. Gox. That is a problem. Whenever a government takes an action, and you have a single central authority where you can say you can just close down the exchange. What happens to the other people? Whereas we come to the other side where local Bitcoins currently follows this model. You have an independent buyer and you have an independent seller. You can transact on your own. But what are the problems with that? There is no automated auto matching there. You have to individually go and find the seller if you are a buyer. And then I will tell you my own example. When I first came to know about Bitcoin, I wanted to buy Bitcoins. I went to local Bitcoin. Someone said for 25,000, he is ready to give me 5 Bitcoins. I actually went with a pepper spray in my hand because I didn't know whether the person is going to just snatch my money and go away. I faced that problem. So the solution is a decentralized exchange, but what are the current problems? If you want to buy, if you want to sell, it is like walking to the North Pole and the South Pole. You don't have an automatic order matching system. If the price rises and you approach a seller and you say, I want to buy from this, he'll probably not respond after a time if the price just moves away. You don't have a ironclad agreement that we can have a transaction at this price. And you see the little guy, he's a tortoise. He makes a slow transactions. Everything happens very slow. You go all the way, you go and meet the buyer, or you meet the seller, you exchange, you wait for 6 confirmations, and sometimes the NEFT takes around 3 to 4 hours to change. That is another problem with this one. So one of the problem which at least we at INR BTC try to come out is, get a lot of custodians into the system. Get an order matching system in place. Get deposits for all orders so that they are only genuine orders. And these custodians, they will ensure that the buyer and sellers, they transact smoothly. You do not have any problem of scam happening. Yeah, and the buyer actually sends the money directly to the seller. So that way you have achieved decentralization, not to a fully complete extent, but to a small extent. And once we take this model further away, when we have more custodians, and they are given enough incentive to act as a fair arbitrageurs between the buyers and the sellers, we can have a fully decentralized exchange. Yeah, this is what, once we have all this model, then I think we can cover all the currencies. Bitcoins will fully cover all the world and everybody will probably transact.